Okay, now we're on Chapter 4, Lesson 2, Multiply Decimals and Whole Numbers. Before I start this lesson, I want to review just a quick thing, which is here will be our decimal. Once you see the decimal, the one to the left of it is the ones, the tens, hundreds, thousands, and whatnot. To the right of the decimal is the tenths with a THS, the hundredths, and then here the thousands. I want to review really quickly the different representations for it. So the tens is represented with the large 3D cube. The ones is 1/10 of that, which is one flat. The tens is a long, which is 1/10 of the ones. If you were to split that into 10, you have the hundredths, which is a small cube. And last but not least, the thousands, which is one small cube split up into 10 pieces. And to get 10 lines, all you need to do is draw 9 or 10 boxes. That one's not as pretty as my other ones, but you get the gist of it. This is important to remember as we go on. The other thing I want to review is that multiplication is repeated addition. And you'll see what I mean by that. So, use the decimal model. Here are our models right here to find the product. Since I did number 1 for you, I'm going to start at number 2 already. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using 2 colors, just like you could see what they did here using 2 different colors. Now, like I said, multiplication is repeated addition. And so one way, actually I'll start at number 1, to look at 4 times 7 hundredths is that you keep in mind that 7 hundredths is being repeated 4 times. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. And you could add them up. 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 is 28. 2 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 2. Decimal 0. So you can see you have the same answer here. And the way that they did this was, this is 7 hundredths, which is 7 of the small cubes. And you can see here they shaded in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 times. And then counted 10, 28 hundredths. So we're going to kind of do that as well. But I'm going to have you do all the problems in 3 different ways, plus this box if they have it. If they don't have this box, I don't expect you to draw it. However, I do expect you to do it the 3 other methods that I'm showing you. For 2 reasons. One, you really get a sense of the representation of them, as well as seeing that multiplication is repeated addition. You just really get a more thorough understanding of everything. So 3 times 27 hundredths. So the first thing they want you to do when you see the grid itself is to color in 27 hundredths 3 times. Because 3 times 27 hundredths is 27 hundredths, 27 hundredths, 27 hundredths, 3 times added up. Addition is repeated multiplication. Multiplication is repeated addition. 7 plus 7 plus 7 is 21. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 8. And so when we're done with this, we better see 8 columns filled out, and then on the 9th row, one of the boxes. And so let's see if we get that. I'm going to color in 27, and to color it in, sorry about that. I'm going to color in 27, and to do that, I know that there are 2 longs, because this is 10 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I know that I'm going to have 2 longs and then 7 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I'm going to continue on with a different color. So I did that one time. Now that I'm doing the second set of 27, I'm using a different color. And I know that this is 1, 2, 3. When I color all of these, that'll be 13. Because this right here is 10, 11, 12, 13. If I color another set, I know that that'll be 23. Because here's another 10. So 10, 20, 1, 2, 3. Now I just need 24, 25, 26, 27. So I just needed 4 more on that row. And then I'm going to do 27 one more time. I'm going to switch back to my first color. And that's 1 time, 2 times. I need to do it 3 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know if I do 10 more, 10 plus 6 is 16. So when I finish this row, I'm going to be doing 16. If I add 10 more to 16, that would be 26. And so I know I could color a whole nother row, because that's still less than 27. So what I have so far is 26, plus 1 more is 27. And all in all, I colored in 2700ths 3 times, and I got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 81. 81, and these are the hundredths. So my final answer is 81 hundredths. And you can see here, I colored it in, I used addition. However, for me, I don't want you just to do those 2 methods. I want you to do 2 other methods. So when I'm talking about 81 hundredths, I want you to get on a scratch piece of paper. And so far, yes, you used the grid, you used addition. The other way I want you to do it is to use a quick model. So you're not always going to be given a grid, and the drawback of the grid is that it takes a lot of time to draw, and it's very difficult to draw 100 squares sometimes. So what I want you to do is on a separate piece of paper, rewrite the equation, and I want you to solve it in 3 different ways, not including the grid. The first one I want you to do is draw a picture. So I want you actually to draw the addition out, which is 0 and 27 hundredths 3 times, and I want you to add them up. 7 plus 7 plus 7 is 21. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 8. Decimal 0. The most important thing you do is you line up the numbers, meaning line up the decimals so that your tenths, your hundredths, and your ones are all straight. The second thing I want you to do is draw a quick picture, which is different than the grid. This means that you're going to draw 27 hundredths like this. This is your flats, that's your ones. These are your longs, these are your tenths, and these are your small cubes, your hundredths, right? Because all I did was I looked at the cheat sheet here. Here's your ones, your tenths, your hundredths. You're going to draw 2 longs and 7 small cubes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And once you get 5, to make it easier to count, I'm going to start a new row, 6, 7. Remember, we did that a lot when we were adding decimals. We did that a lot in making sure that they were organized and nice and neat. So you did that 1 time. This is 27 hundredths. Keep in mind you have to do a second time, another 27 hundredths. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we have to do it 3 times, a third time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And just like we did with the chapter with adding decimals, we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to add these up, which means these can combine. This is 5, 10 to create another long. And here's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to create another long. And so all together you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 longs. And you have 1 small cube. If you have 8 longs and 1 small cube, think about these are your tens, your ones, your tenths, your hundreds, and your thousands. 8 longs is here. 1 small cube goes here, and all these ones are zeros. And so you have quite a couple different ways you could write your answer. You could have 0.810. You could have 0.81. You could have 0.810. So long as in the tens place there's an 8 and in the hundreds place there's a 1. But you could see here that you get the same answer. 0 and 81 hundredths, 0 and 81 hundredths. The last thing I want you to do, because those are 2 ways to solve it, is use regular multiplication. And to use regular multiplication, you'll see your multiplication right here. You're going to write them up and down from each other, okay? With the one with more digits on top. So this has only 1 digit, 1 number. This has 3 digits, 3 numbers. I'm going to write that one on top. Because remember, the multiplication property, the commutative property means you could switch them. And we're going to multiply it by 3. And here you're going to do 3 times 7. 7 times 3 is 21. If you need, you could use a multiplication touch math cheat sheet. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 is 8. 3 times 0 is 0. And from there, you're going to move the decimal. Yes or no, is there a decimal on top? Yes. How many times did you have to move it from the right to the left? You had to move it 1, 2 times to get there. Is there a decimal at the bottom? No. So altogether, there's no decimal here. You're going to move it 2 plus 0s 2 times. So take your decimal here, move it 1, 2 times, and your final answer is 0.81, 0 and 81 hundredths, as you could see, in all 3 different methods. So I do expect you doing all 3 methods, regular addition, picture, and multiplication, for all of the problems here. If they happen to give you a grid, like they did for 1, 2, and 3, fill out the grid, but still do the other 3 on a separate piece of paper. You should have enough room to do all 3 ways on 4, 5, 6, and 7, but you might have to do number 3 on a separate piece. So I can help you with number 3. I'll just flip it over here. 2 and 45 hundredths. We're going to do it the regular way first, which is just filling in this grid. And we're going to start by coloring 45 hundredths. Last time I started with red, so I'll start with red again. That means 4 longs. 45 of these is, if I color a whole row, this is 10, 20, 30, 40, and then this is where I need to start being careful now. 41, 2, 3, 4, 5. And from there, I'm going to do 45 again with a different color. And I'm only going to do it 2 times because you're multiplying by 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10 plus 5 is 15. 10 plus 15 is 25. 35. And last but not least, 45. So you can see here the amount that's colored in is a complete row, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 exactly. So this is 90, and these are all the hundredths. It's like saying 90 pennies. So your final answer will be 90 hundredths, or you could say 9 tenths. So you could either say there's 9 small cubes colored in, so 90 hundredths, or you could say there's 9 longs colored in, 9 tenths. But you could see that regardless, the ones is the 0, the 9 is in the tenths, and there's nothing in the hundredths. Either there's a 0 at the hundredths or there's nothing there. 90 hundredths, 9 tenths. Don't forget that I'm asking you to do it in 3 ways. So, last time, first thing we do is we're going to add it up. 0 and 45 hundredths is the number that we're repeating, and we're repeating it 2 times. 1 time, 2 times. 5 plus 5 is 10, regroup the 1. 4, 8 plus 1, 9. Decimal 0. So here you can see we have 90 hundredths. The second way that I want you to do it is to do it with representations. And so keep in mind your ones, tens, hundreds, thousands. This is 4 longs. These are your flats, your longs, and your small cubes. So you can have 1, 2, 3, 4 longs, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones. Again, you're going to have no flats, 4 longs, because they're the tenths, 5 small cubes. And what you're going to do is you're going to add these together. And when you add them together, 5 plus 5 make a long, and altogether you have 4, 8, 9 longs. 9 longs means what? It means if you were to put it on here, these are your tens, your ones, your tenths, your hundreds, and your thousandths. 9 longs is 9 over here. So your answer is making sure that you have decimal 9. So you could have 0.90, or you could have 0.9. There's a few other possibilities you could make, but just make sure that the 9s is in the tens place. You can see here. Now, last but not least, you have to do multiplication. You put the one with the most digits on top, so the 4500ths, and you're multiplying by 2. 5 times 2 is 10, regroup the 1. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. 2 times 0 is 0. I hope I'm saying times, not adding. It sucks if I said that wrong. Okay, now you look for your decimal. From the right, going to the decimal, how many times you move it? You move it 1 time in front of the 5, 1 time in front of the 4, that is 2 times altogether. There's no decimal here, so you do not move it at all. And altogether, you're going to do 2 plus 0, which is 1, 2 times. And so your answer is 0.90. 90 hundredths, 90 hundredths, 90 hundredths. Keep in mind 9 tenths is the same as 90 hundredths, because regardless, you have 9 longs and 0 hundredths. I hope that helps. I want to see those 3 ways for numbers 4, 5, 6, and 7. If you want to get a kick and do the grid as well, you can, so that'd be 4 ways. But I do want to see a quick picture, the addition, and the multiplication. And last but not least, I want to get you started on these ones. In PE class, or physical education class, Sonia walks a distance of 0 and 12 mile in 1 minute. At that rate, how far can she walk in 9 minutes? So what's going on here is, here's minute 1. Here's minute 2. Do you know how long she's walking? Yes, she's walking a total of 9 minutes, minute 9. Each time she walks the same amount. In minute 1, it takes her 0 and 12 of a mile. Minute 2, she'll walk the same amount, 0 and 12 mile. In minute 9, she'll walk the same amount, 0 and 12. 12 hundredths. I don't know why I'm saying 12. 0 and 12 hundredths, 0 and 12 hundredths, 0 and 12 hundredths of a mile each time. So you could say 0 and 12 of a mile the first minute, plus 0 and 12 hundredths of a mile the next minute, plus 0 and 12 hundredths of a mile the next minute, 9 times. You could do 0 and 12 hundredths of a mile, plus 0 and 12 hundredths of a mile, plus 0 and 12 hundredths of a mile, 9 times. And I do expect to see that. That's 4, 5, 6. You should probably use a separate piece of paper. 7, 8, 9. I also want to see the picture of it as well as the multiplication. So you're going to do 0 and 12 hundredths of a mile 9 times through adding, through picture, and through multiplication. The next one, a tree can grow 0 and 45 hundredths of a meter in 1 year. How much can it grow in 3 years? This is very similar to the one before it. So here's a tree growing. Here's year 1. Here's year 2. And it's growing for 3 years. Each year it grows 0 and 45 hundredths of a meter, 0 and 45 hundredths of a meter, 0 and 45 hundredths of a meter. And your total is going to be the total growth in 3 years. Just like here, your total is going to be the total miles in 9 minutes. And here you can already see the equation. It's 0 and 45 hundredths plus 0 and 45 hundredths plus 0 and 45 hundredths. That would be your addition. I want to see the picture as well as the multiplication. So I hope that that helped you. I know I went through this a little bit quickly, especially the word problems. Do me a favor, slow it down, make sure to draw the picture box, but more so, make sure to understand it. Keep in mind there's a difference between doing and understanding, between memorizing and applying, and I want you to be able to apply these concepts, not just memorize what I did, but how to do it, because I won't be able to help you on the quizzes and tests. That being said, sorry to wrap this up so quickly. I do want to get to my next video though. Have a good day.